Yeah, so I have an amazing honor student named Angela Lee, who's actually going to be starting as a PhD, and she just wrote an award-winning thesis looking at mindsets of social media use, and I think it's going to be very similar to phone use. And for those not familiar with mindset, basic idea is like it's a core set of beliefs about how you think something works, and these mindsets are very powerful. They can affect your attention, they can affect your memory, they change your sort of behavior. The most famous example is Carol Dweck over in psychology, growth versus fixed mindsets for intelligence. So people that feel like they have a fixed mindset or a fixed mindset of intelligence, whatever you got, that's what you got. And so if you're being told you're smart, then you'll avoid, anything that'll maybe make it that you're not. And if you encounter failure, there's not much you can do. So it's not a good mindset for improving for education. The growth mindset though it means that you can try, you can grow your intelligence, you can get, smarter. So Angela did the same thing and looked at it in social media. And we followed sort of the work from the mindset field, and you follow this sort of set of things, developed a scale, tested it. Here's what we find. All right, here's what Angela finds is there's sort of two dimensions of social media use that people think about. Your control over the device. Does it control you? Do you control it? And then this sort of like valence. Do you think it's overall good or bad? Let's set that one aside because I think good or bad kind of comes out of the other one actually. And here, what Angela and I have been talking about now is that what are the endpoints of this kind of control dimension? I think at one end, we've been talking about is an addiction mindset. Right? This is people that believe that like you use it, the phone controls you, and it's bad for you. That's what addiction is, right? On the other end is something like a tool mindset, where you're using this thing and you're trying to accomplish your goals, whether they're distraction or fun or work or social connection or using a map to get from one place to the other. And it's functional. You're trying to do stuff, and you may make mistakes, and you may use it more than you want sometimes. But you ultimately are using this thing. Now, if you think about it from a mindset point of view, the addiction mindset is really bad, actually. Here's your options. I have an addiction mindset. My belief is if I use my phone, I can't help it, and it's bad for me. I have two options: abstain, right, and feel good, because that's the deal, or use it and feel bad and guilty about myself. Right? So it's a bad mindset, I think. Or a tool mindset, right? You give people this sort of agency over it. You train them like, look, this is your thing, and you make the choices. And I think what we're doing next is an intervention to see if we can move people on that. Now, all that said, yeah, these companies are using psychology to create, apps and systems that are really sticky, and people want to use them. I found myself reaching for a phone, but why addiction? Like, I just think it does nothing good for us. If you're a policymaker, addiction's not going to be the thing to teach kids. Oh yeah, you use your phone, you're a bad person. Like, is that where we feel? So yeah, if you want to say to companies, hey, you need to like be more transparent about your designs, or you need to think about your users' well-being, I'm all for that, 100%. But when we're teaching our kids this idea of addiction, how can that be good for people? And so no, I'm very much not okay with the addiction framing. I do think that there's a small subset of the population for which some of the time it's a real problem, and those people need real help, right? And that's just like saying, like with alcohol, for example, or gambling. Like, yeah, some people definitely should like be really careful about gambling, and they need help and support. But for most people, they gamble a little bit, they go back to their real life, there's no issue. So I think addiction is a really problematic framing, not just because it's probably inaccurate for most people most of the time, but it sets up a mindset that is actually unhealthy for people.